Hey guys, welcome to today's video. This is just a little experiment modeling a sci-fi weapon, just modeling, not texturing or anything else, just doing hard surface here in Maya 2026. So to start the weapon, I just plopped down a cylinder and just using really basic techniques like beveling and extruding and selecting, verts, polygons and edges, I was able to create something somewhat interesting. So right here you see me making a selection, just holding down the shift key and going into poly mode. You can select individual polygons. They're just using Control E to extrude them and kind of press them in. Once you press them in, it's really a good idea to add more kind of a interesting, softer feel to the shape by just doing bevels. So I do that a lot as well. Here I'm just building a little trigger, just using a box and right clicking, going to verts mode and just moving the points around, and then just doing pressing Control D to duplicate them a bunch of times. So all of this is just super kind of a non-advanced workflow, but if you use it in a clever way, you can come up with some really interesting designs that are that seem a little more advanced than what they really are. So in this case, I'm building a little scope right behind the trigger, and I'm using verts to kind of straighten things out. One really cool trick if you want to straighten things out, if you're new to hard surface modeling in Maya, you can select a bunch of points and just using your scale, you can straighten different planes that way. So using scale is a cool little trick. Right here I'm just building like a little plate on the side of the weapon, and using the deformer, you can add the bend deformer and just change the curvature, and the trick here is just to make sure that the line that you drop down for the deformer faces the proper way. So when you're curving it, you can decide and control which axes it's actually curving on. So that's what I did there. Then I wanted to add little holes. To do that, I actually just instead of punching a hole with booleans, I just you can see what I've done. I just kind of created additional points and then just pressed them in using, once again, just the extrude with a little bevel, and that did the trick, and it gave me the look that I wanted. After that, I wanted to mirror it to the other side, so just using a mirror tool with the world as a setting, you can beautifully mirror everything very quickly. Here on the back, I'm just building the back of the weapon and adding a couple cylinders. Again, super simple, really primitive shapes, but check it out. I just dropped the box down, right? So there's not much to it. But then, right here, by the way, I'm using the cut tool to cut the two cylinders in order to create some kind of a illusion of a connection between the two shapes, and then extruding them out. But anyway, so I grabbed the box and then I beveled it, and then by extruding and moving the back points, I was able to create something super interesting. Then selecting the inside point, the inside faces, and deleting them, you can then bridge them together and create some kind of an opening really fast. And then once I've done that, I just beveled the whole shape, and very quickly out of a box came out something super interesting. Right here, I actually just used the magnet, so you can do a live magnet. If you select a surface, anything that you grab, like the primitives, they'll stick right to that surface, and that's a great way if you have a round surface to use a magnet to place things perfectly where you want them to be. Alright, right here I'm just building the bottom of the weapon, and that is maybe where the power, some kind of a power generator is. Here I'm building the little trigger. Once again, just grabbing a box, deleting the inside of it, and then just beveling it. And very quickly you get some really interesting, cool looking shapes. And then using the verts mode, you can just move the points around and create organic looking things. So right here I'm just building a handle, and no, this is actually a trigger, sorry about that. So I'm building the trigger and I'm just putting it into place. I love using the cut tool instead of inserting edges or loops, you can just use the cut tool to create kind of a custom position for those. So the cut tool in Maya is just super powerful, in my opinion. So I am continuously just rotating the weapon and just adding little extra shapes and details where they need to be, just to keep the surfaces really interesting and fun. Right now, you can see the total poly count of this thing is super low, right? It's 3,000 poly, so it's somewhat a low poly weapon. And again, it's just a little experiment, a little exercise. So right here, it's a really powerful tool in Maya to go X-ray mode, so you can see through the objects and you can move the points around very easily. And by building the handle, I'm just kind of playing around, figuring out what do I think might work. And right here, initially I wanted to create like a little inset as one piece, but that didn't really, I didn't feel like fighting with it. So instead I beveled all the edges, and then it created that cool separation. So then I extruded it out and it gave me like these cool little sci-fi lines. Here I was trying to figure out, it's funny, I was trying to figure out where to put the handle, and because this is more of a blaster, not really like a machine gun, I kind of put it more towards the front to make it kind of feel a little bit smaller. And then finally, I really wanted to get that cartoony effect and get a little more tapered look. So to get that going, I'm going to end up using lettuce here in a minute. And I combined all the shapes and cleared the history, and then just used the lettuce to create that awesome look where it's just super cartoony, right? It's just like flared out. So that's pretty much it. All right, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in our next video.